the high-octane world of Formula One, glory is reserved for the fastest and the best. Yet there was a team that dared to dream big with nothing but determination and a modest budget: Forti Corse. Today we uncover the rise and fall of the last private F1 team. The team that never gave up despite the odds stacked against them.
De tunnel waar het in die tunnel natuurlijk droog is en je komt ineens op nat terecht. Gaat die wagen wegglijden.
Founded by Guido Forti, this small Italian team entered Formula One in 1995, armed with passion and hope. Guido's vision was clear: to nurture young talent and create a competitive racing team.
Well, we've been well accepted into the Grand Prix paddock. No one has criticised our entry into Formula One, nor opposed it.
Starting a Formula One team takes more than just passion and courage. It demands a massive wallet. Finding a billionaire willing to bankroll an F1 venture almost always requires manufacturer backing.
This is our first car. We made it entirely without taking anything from any other car. We started with a blank sheet of paper, and little by little it's come together.
Overlooking the 3 new teams from 2010 who joined thinking budgets would be capped, every new team that has completed more than one race in the last 20 years has had big name backing. Haas had Ferrari. Stewart was practically a Ford team. Toyota, well, the name speaks for itself. Partnering with businessman and engineer Paolo Guerci, Forti started small, competing in the Italian Formula Ford series with Teo Fabi driving for them in 1978. Fabi's success ignited Forti's ambition, driving them to move up the racing ladder and enter the Formula 3 series, where they secured significant wins throughout the decade.
We put on the T car and we went testing with it, and we still have some more work to do before we can bring to the racing car.
Forti's first major success in Formula 3 came when Oscar Larrauri clinched the European F3 Championship in 1982. After years of competition, they dominated the Italian Formula 3 Championship in 1985 with Franco Forini, and continued their winning streak with drivers like Enrico Bertaggia, Emanuele Naspetti, and Gianni Morbidelli. In 1987, Forti took a bold step up by entering Formula 3000, the tier just below Formula One. Initial struggles were part of the journey, but by 1990, with the right chassis and driver, Gianni Morbidelli, they secured their first win. After ending their Formula 3 program, it was time for the ultimate challenge, Formula One.
It means that after 20 years in motorsport, I've actually gotten somewhere, I've achieved something, and with me the lads who work for the team, those who look after the administration, the technical side, and so on. This is our first car. We made it entirely without taking anything from any other car. We started with a blank sheet of paper, and little by little it's come together.
Forti Corse's entry into Formula One marked the pinnacle of their ambitions. Designing their own chassis to meet new technical regulations, they relied on the expertise of Sergio Rinland, a veteran from Brabham and Williams. The result was a car based on an outdated fond metal design, an ominous sign for their debut season.
The big difference between 3000 and Formula One is the brakes. The brakes is very different. We have carbon brakes, what's not allowed in Formula 3000, and this is much different to drive.
Heavily backed by Pedro Diniz's father's sponsorship, Forti's first drivers were Diniz and the experienced Roberto Moreno. With a $17 million budget and Ford Cosworth ED V8 engines, Forti faced the 1995 season with cautious optimism, knowing they were up against giants. From their first race, the odds were against them. The FG01 car was underpowered and overweight, leaving the team perpetually at the back of the grid. Despite their hard work and resilience, the results were disheartening.
Well, Pedro Diniz made an excellent debut in that Brazilian Grand Prix, bringing the car to the finish. A finish that was 8th position after the disqualifications, means that he's back down to 10th place, with them being reinstated into the results.
In 1996, there was a glimmer of hope with a new car, the FGO3, and new drivers, Luca Baduera and Andrea Montermini. Forti Corse aimed to improve. However, the challenges kept mounting, from financial woes to their reliance on outdated chassis plagued all the efforts.
Formula 3000 one simply buys the parts, and if one breaks, it's simple to buy another. Guido Forti saying, well, the chassis, for example, in 3000 costs around $50,000. Here, it's twice that much. And the supplementary development studies, 10 times as much. That has a lot of repercussions on the budget.
As the 1996 season wore on, Forti Corse's situation grew more dire. Failing to qualify for several races, the team was on the brink.
Een soortgelijke situatie die Wendlinger overkwam bij het uitkomen van de tunnel, waar het in die tunnel natuurlijk droog is en je komt ineens op nat terecht. Gaat die wagen wegglijden.
By mid-season, the financial strain was insurmountable. Rumours of financial troubles swirled, and Forti sought a lifeline with Shannon Racing, an entity registered in the British Virgin Islands linked to an Italian industrial group, Finfirst.
The Forti team unveiled new colours in Spain. Gone is the yellow and in is Irish green, in deference to new sponsor Shannon.
Shannon initially took a 51% stake, but failed to provide funds within 6 days, prompting Forti to dispute the agreement and reclaim sole ownership. Despite moments of improved performance, like Baduere out-qualifying Rosette in Canada, financial woes persisted, with the team struggling under heavy debt owed to engine suppliers Cosworth.
Well, he says in Formula 3000 our team was made up of about 15 people. In Formula 1 there's about 45 of us, so it's been multiplied by 3. It's clear that the personnel are employed based on the needs of the organisation, but also based on the specialities.
At the French Grand Prix, both cars managed to qualify, only to be cruelly pulled from the race as Cosworth, incensed over unpaid debts, refused to supply the vital engines. This nightmare repeated itself at the British and German Grand Prix, where the team was besieged by relentless engine troubles and crippling financial woes. Their last appearance was at the German Grand Prix, where they failed to qualify. In the midst of this turmoil, a fierce legal battle erupted between Guido Forti and Shannon Racing for control of the team. Yet, before the court could settle this bitter feud, Forti was hit with a staggering $2 million fine for missing races, a devastating blow that all but sealed the team's fate. Shannon Racing eventually seized full control, but their efforts to revive the team proved futile. The final nail in the coffin came when Forti was forced to miss the Italian Grand Prix, marking the tragic end of their presence on the track. Forti Corse's journey in Formula 1 was short-lived and filled with challenges. Though they never reached the podium, their story is a testament to the undying spirit of racing. In the high-stakes world of Formula 1, it's not only about the champions, but also about those who dared to chase their dreams.